Hello there, it's me, Sari here again, and today I'm here with the final video that wants to take part of the celebration of my 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. Altenew, the American stamp and die company that also has stamped ink pads and everything. You can see a lot of beautiful cards that people have made with the layering technique stamps. That's really what set me going when I started learning about Altenew as a company. And Altenew actually wanted to take part, and they let me decide or choose a couple of stamps and even stencils. And I thought I'll show you these things, and at the end of the video I'll be telling you more about your possibility or your chance of actually getting your hands on a lovely gift card worth of $20. So let's get started. Let's get started indeed. I love camera stamps. So instead of going for the flowery stamps, layering upon layer technique, I decided on going in a different direction this time. So I do have a lovely set of camera stamps here. Say cheese, it says. And it has got the base stamp and the line stamps and even some pattern stamps that you can combine into a complete look. So perhaps you could make something with like this with just 3 colors, or perhaps you could just put it in the corner there, or there. So in my book, I'm thinking I could put these in a mini album, and when I have gone to, let's say, London or something, I could put my photos in here. So let's see if I can show you how I made these. I have prepared it a little bit, and in this case I'm using Distress Oxide inks. I'm really in love with these inks, I must say. So broken china, cracked pistachio and walnut stain. So that's how I managed to make these cameras. So let's see if I can make something similar. And there is a couple of words as well. Picture perfect, smile, capture every moment, say cheese, we just click. Real lovely statements, and I do like when they are combining the sort of a typewriter font with a little swirly font. I do like that combination. So I do have a white sort of sleek piece of paper. It's not sleek, it's just plain. It doesn't have that much texture to it. And I'm using VersaFine ink just because I think that the imprint is very nice, and I'll be using that for the black part. But first off, I'll be going with this. You can see that there is a little bit of broken china residue on there, and I'm just keeping things simple. And since this is a solid stamp, I really want to make sure that I'm getting a lot of ink here. If I wanted to, I could of course use a stamping tool of sorts, but I think that it's an easier, quicker process just doing the stamping like so. And I think I'll just put that one back. And then I'll be moving ahead with the detail stamp there. And I'm using that ink. And now I have to make sure that I'm fitting all of these things in here. So I need to put my face a little bit further down to this, and I'm hoping I'll be able to put it in the right place. And there we have it. Had I now put more ink on the solid bit, I would have gotten a better imprint. And I think that I'll actually go with the sort of wood grain thing there, and I think I'll just go with the green, which I have been using before. And now it's important for you to just use it on the right side. It's sort of self-explanatory really when you get started. So I think I'll just try to put it there. I succeeded on my first attempt, and I succeeded even here, and I do like the way this looks. And I do have 2 sets of sayings here, so I think I'll just go for the picture perfect, and here is where the VersaFine ink comes in handy. And I'm just making sure that I'm covering the stamp with some ink. And then I like to make use of the possibilities of creating something with the text together with the stamped image. So picture perfect. Let's say picture perfect. I could, of course, if I wanted to, put the smile word there, but I think I'll be using that for a later project. So I think I'll just get rid of these, and this is what I have come up with so far. So that was the Say Cheese stamp set, and I fell in love with it the first time I saw it, really. I do like camera stamps, I do. So I think I'll just keep that one there, and I'll be putting, I can actually put those there. So let's move ahead. I thought that I could use this Capture Moments mini camera stamp. And there's also a text saying collecting happy moments. Depending on how you are using this, I mean, this is sort of an Instax camera, Polaroid camera, and depending on how you use it, I see how people have used it. I think some people have stamped it like this, and it was rather funky, I must say. And you know, thinking right now, I just came up with an idea. Perhaps I could go with it. Let's see if I can make it work. I'm just going to, this is something that I made, and I did some watercoloring on a paper that isn't a watercoloring paper, so that's why I'm going to go for another piece of paper in just a second. But I thought that that was a rather fun way to go about it. Had I put it like this, perhaps it would look more like the Polaroid camera. But having it like this, perhaps it looks like a regular camera, I'm not sure. So let's see, I just got an idea. And I think I'll just take a piece of paper, and I'm going to take a brush like this. Some people might call this a stencil brush. I'm just going to brush on some ink like this, just to create a sort of a pattern paper or a colored paper. And then I'm going to do some stamping with that camera stamp. And I'm going to go for the VersaFine because I do like that ink quite a lot. So if I'm going to put it there, it's getting a rather funky look. You could of course cut it out, and you could stamp it several times, so you could have a row of Instagram or Polaroid cameras. So that's a fun way to go about it, but I thought I'd just show you how I quickly color things. I mean I'm not a coloring artist per se when it comes to watercoloring or alcohol marker coloring either. I'm just going to show my quick way to go about it. So let's see if I could zoom in a little so you could see a little bit better what I'm doing. So here we are. And I do have some residue ink on an acrylic block, and I think I could be able to use that. And if I'm going to look at this one, I could actually mimic that perhaps. So I did have some brown, and that is Vintage Photo. So I'm going to continue with the Distress Oxide line. Vintage Photo, Wilted Violet and Iced Spruce. And when it comes to working with watercoloring mediums, I just like to put a little bit there and pull it out and make it a more faint on the other side. And the one thing, I mean, there's a difference between watercoloring papers and regular papers. I mean, regular papers sort of soak up the ink or the color right away, whilst the watercoloring paper you actually do have some time to move the color around. So that's the main difference there. And I'm going to go ahead with the Wilted Violet, and I did have it, I had it here. So you have a more wiggle room, so to speak. I mean, you have a more free time. You don't have hours, mind you. You do have a little time to spread the ink around. And you could go back and pick it up and just drag it along from there yet again. And mind you, my intention is to leave it a little bit paler on this side. So I'm sort of making it look like the sun is, or the light is coming from that side, and it's going to be darker on this side. I did have something down here as well, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful where I'm going to put this, because that one is a little bit wet. I don't want those colors to contaminate or blend together. And then I could go for some of the iced spruce, which is a sort of a green greyish colour. And I did the same thing there. I'm going to put it like so. I'm just going to drag it, so I'm going to get a sort of fainter look on that side. And I'm going to make this one grey as well, like so. And I'm just going to wipe it off there, just to make a quick and easy thing there. And then of course I could do a little bit of stamping. I'm using a stamp from another set, which I was showing you in a second or two. So just to keep things similar, or perhaps spruce things up a little. Let's see. I mean, there's a difference. I'm going to go for that. I want to try this out. So if I were to put this "Be Happy and Smile" stamp underneath, it could look rather funky, couldn't it? So it's the same stamps, but a different look altogether. So I see I'm too close now, aren't I? So there we have it. And I do believe it's rather funky looking if I'm using it as a Polaroid camera. So if I could just put those back there, and I'm going to take the stamps. I'm not sure if I have used this smile stamp, so I'm going to take that one and put it aside. So here's another set which is called Traveling, and this one with the capture moments, as well as another small stamp set, Mini Atlas. These are sold either separately or in a set of 3. So it's a really nice travel themed set of stamps, I believe. So in this case I have, let's see, where do I have that? Am I missing out on something? Or perhaps I aren't. This one needs to go there. I don't like things when I'm out of focus, so I think I'll just switch to this one for now. I'm going to go there for now for a second. And so in this case, I did show you that I did get something else apart from stamps. I actually got 2 stencils. And I must say that these stencils do rock my world. So in this case I just gave it a go, trying them out on a piece of white paper. And here is one of the stencils, Graffiti Scribble, this one is called. And just look at this. I mean, sometimes when I'm cleaning up my crafty space, I just put things here and there. But turning this one over, I really know that this stencil belongs in this pocket. I mean, this is fabulous service, I must say. The other one is a grid stencil, and the same thing goes for that. So that's a really professional way to go about it, I must say, because I've seen other brands just making it all the same backgrounds and everything. And I'll be going ahead with one of the beautiful texts from this beautiful quotes stamp set from Altenew. There are many, many, many beautiful quotes here. Do go to their webpage to have a look-see at the text. I mean, these are fabulous, 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 fabulous. So I think I'll just show you how I go about using a sort of so-called stencil brush and a couple of stencils. I mean, this year, 2017, I have been using, sorry about this, stencils and stencil brushes and inks, mostly the Distress Oxide inks from Tim Holtz and Ranger. I have been using them like a mad girl. So in this case I'll be going for the pink and the yellow. And I see that the first layer is with the yellow grid. So I'm just going to take it like so, and I'm going to take a yellow paintbrush or stencil brush, and I'm going to keep the stencil with my hand like so. Let's see if I could make it like that. So I'm just going to randomly do a bit of inking with my brush. And I find these brushes in hardware stores, so you just go have a look-see. There are also some stencil brushes that you can find, but I believe that they are a little bit more expensive. So just by keeping it in place, I'm getting this result. And I do like it when it's a little bit darker in some places and lighter in other. And I'm just going to change colors, and I'm also going to change the brush because I don't want to contaminate the colors. So I'm going to go for some pink or worn lipstick. This one is called. This one is Fossilized Amber. So before I get started, I'm going to line this one up like so, and I'm just going to put some ink here. And I think this is a really nice way to go about it if you want to make your own pattern papers. I mean, you could go wild with stencils, couldn't you? And I do like using stencils, so I was eager to try these out from Altenew. And I must say, I like the patterns. I do like them. And in this case, I actually went a little bit more wild when it came to the pink. Perhaps I shouldn't have done it like so, but here we are. And then I'm going to go for a fourth color, or third color I must say, peeled paint, one of my favorite colors. And I'm going to take one of those text stamps, and this one says, "I automatically smile when I see you." So I did choose this set of stamps just because I saw this quote, because I was thinking I could combine it with a camera stamp or so. And what I did in this case was I just put it down here. So I'm sort of creating the illusion of a board or a frame, but the frame won't be complete. So now I have it there. I could stop here if I wanted to, just to have something a little bit there, but I could also just turn the paper around and put it there. And what I like about clear stamps is that I actually see where I'm stamping. And having a grid block like this with a sort of a wave edge to it really helps me when I'm doing my stamping. So here we have it. I could of course continue working with this, I could do more stamping, but here we are with this method. So I'm just going to put one of the stencils anyway. So now it's a really nice way. Now I know that I have matched those up. And I'm going to put the stamp there as well. It's going to be a long video, I'm sorry about this. So now we are coming to the final box. I also have another set of stamps that I haven't used or made anything out of yet. But this one is called Goals. And I saw the quotes and I thought that they were really fantastic. If not now, when? Make it happen. Dare to dream. Be who you are, not who the world wants you to be. And talking about the word, I do have the beautiful mini atlas, and here we have the world, don't we? And I'm going to use one of the stamps from this set as well. This one is called Traveling, and the quotes say, capturing moments, landed, good times, unforgettable, adventure begins, this was awesome. And then there's the sort of a, it's not a hashtag, but it's a sort of a place where we have been or we are, a camera and an aeroplane. So I do like, especially when they have written it with the sort of typewriter. So let's see. This is what I'm going to attempt to do. I mean, you could go quite far with just one stencil, couldn't you? So if you have a stencil and a couple of inks and perhaps brushes, I mean, you could also work with those let's see, those distress blending tools and such. But I find that this is a really nice way to go about it if you want to make a sort of fainter background. So I'm just going to do the same thing, keep it in place. I could of course do a bit of taping with some washi tape and such, but I'm just going to make a quick video like this. So I think I'll just start with an orange. I do like orange. Orange is one of my favorite colors for sure. And I'm just going to put it in here and there. And I like to work diagonally. I'm not sure why, but I do like to sort of create a diagonal shape with things. But then I did go mad when it came to the orange. I hope I didn't. No, it seems like I'm in a place. I also did go this way, I believe, if I don't remember incorrectly. I just wanted to go about the whole page like this. And I could actually just put in a little bit more there. And then I have the blue one. So I have used spiced marmalade, fired brick and faded jeans. So these are the 12 first Distress Oxide inks, and I'm eager to get the other 12 that are coming later this year. Because I do like to work with these, they are creamy and such. So just look at this. Just by having one stencil, 3 ink pads and a couple of brushes, you could do this in a really easy peasy fashion. What I did next was I took the mini atlas stamp and I made sure that I inked it up well, because this is a solid stamp and solid stamps need a lot of ink. If I felt like I'm not going to make it, I do want to be sure that I'm going to put it in place, I could of course use a stamping tool of sorts, but I'm just going to be a bit of a daredevil now. So I'm just going to put it there, and you know, the good thing about having a grid ink block like this is that I can actually line it up with the grid here. So I'm going to butt my head in, perhaps in the camera. I'm just going to put that one there. Let's say I were to fail with this bit of stamping. Had I now used a stamping tool, I could have re-inked the stamp and put the stamp back in the same place, because some of these stamp tools have magnets that keep the paper in place. So here we are with that. It's sort of alright. And then I'm going to use the stamp Adventure Begins. And I'm going to use some black ink. And you know, I just randomly did a bit of stamping here. And you know, since I do have the grid lines here, I might as well make use of them. So I'm just going to do a bit of stamping like so. So I'm making sort of a crossword looking thing here. And I'm going to put this one here. So put it there perhaps, like so. And I'm going to put this one there. And you know what, I just want to make a difference, so I'm going to continue with this. So let's see, I'm going to continue with this there. So this is what I love about using your stamps and stencils. You can make your own pattern papers, if you will. So Adventure Begins, I could put it there. So I could sort of frame the atlas in there. Let's see if I can make it work like this. Adventure Begins. I mean, and I do like to test different things and techniques out. I mean, I'm not sure about things beforehand. I just want to give them a go. Sometimes I fail and sometimes I actually do succeed. And in this case, this one seems like it's going to be rather all right. So here we have it. I do like the way it looks. So that's it. And I do hope that you did learn something from this video. So I want to thank Altenew for taking part of this celebration of the fact that I've got 15,000 followers on YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you. So I will be picking out a randomly chosen winner that is going to get a gift card worth of $20. Altenew is going to ship the gift card to the winner. You have until the 11th of June 2017, 8 o'clock Central European Time. That is 2000 hours in the evening. I wish you luck, and I hope you get started working with your stencils, stamps and, let's say, even ink pads. I'm going to sign off right now. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.